Helen, we've got an emergency.
So, Rob, this is so uncharacteristic of you. You made the first slide today and you love color. What is this about?
I looked around the staff room this week and this is what I saw in the staff room. It's grey, sad teachers. It's report writing, comment writing week. Now that you've marked everything, and this is what it looked like.
This is one of the reasons I don't like to teach full-time anymore, because a report comments begripstoets and opstel. But never fear, Rob does have a bright, happy one because she likes writing report comments.
I just think it's it's the first connection you're really having with the parents, giving them a bit of an insight as to what's going into in the classroom. I love it. I think it's cool.
So Robin is a language person. She loves to write. And for everyone else who doesn't, well, that's what this program is all about for the rest of us.
Lovely.
So what's the purpose of this whole report comment thing, really?
Well, apart from the fact that it's compulsory and required.
Very important aspect.
We have to do them.
Yes.
I think it's actually, it really is. It's that first little connection with the classroom for parents. It's a way for the kids to see, how they've done this term. And it's a way for us to say your child has settled in, they're doing okay.
You've noticed Peter Ann at the back of the room.
Yes.
Good.
We know everyone in the class.
Okay, good. So we have noticed your child and we know something about your child.
Exactly.
Not a lot just yet, but we do know.
Exactly. And then also an opportunity to say 3 stars and a wish.
I like this. So Robert says 3 stars are 3 positive things that the child is doing right. And the wish is something that they can improve on for next term.
Yeah, like everybody has.
So if you kept it as simple as 3 stars and a wish, a great report comment. I don't have a problem with that. But we do agree with keep it simple, silly, because it is the first term. Don't overcommit. Don't get ahead of yourself. You need to keep this comment simple.
Totally.
So pick 4 categories. Pick 2 categories. So possibly their attitude in class, their behavior. Are they settling in? Are they organized? Task completion. Is homework being done? Are they looking out the window and not finishing off work? And participation. Are they jumping up and down in front of you with the answer, or you have some sort of wallflower in the back?
Yeah,
blending in with the wallpaper.
Yeah, and I think also we've got to be careful about it. Is the first term. You don't want to go and say their maths is terrible or their reading's awful, because a lot of children are quite anxious in the first term. They're settling in.
Definitely. So we definitely need to this term be positive, because it's a whole new term and there's a chance to turn over a new leaf. But you need to be honest.
Yeah.
Because if there are cracks, as a parent, I want to know now what's going down. Don't leave it for the middle of the year. That's 6 months into the year.
Yeah.
I want to know more or less that something's not right now, so I can, as a parent, start putting it right.
Yeah, and of course, honesty doesn't mean you have to be brutal about it. It can be said in a nice way.
Euphemism?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even just in, we noticed that, so-and-so is going to need some extra help in this area.
Brilliant. Okay, like that. Okay. But of course, Google is always there. And you were helping colleagues today, I believe.
Yes, I saw, again, some new teachers, first-year teachers sitting, putting their hair out, typing and then deleting. And I said, wait, Google, here's some sites you can go visit. And there was help. And a couple of hours later, one of the teachers came back and said, oh, thank you so much.
So Google is full of it. Get inspired. I would print these. I went to one, I think I wrote report comments, and Teacher Vision came up. And this is literally all from Teacher Vision. And it puts it so nicely. Personality is a sweet and cooperative child. I don't think they would have said that about me. Is often tired at school. No, I was heaps of energy. Although Michelle has growth in social maturity, she's continuing. So there's good and bad here. I would perhaps even number them. Sort of 1 good ones and 4 not so good, so that you can pick them out. Order them, put them in a table. Put 3 for an A comment, 3 for a B comment, 3 for a C comment. I know you wouldn't do that, but
I'm thinking that's a lot of work.
And then they go quickly, because you just go, oh, this is a C child, this is an A child. But there's plenty of help
Yeah.
out there. Academic achievement has been the most cooperative and only needs strengthening in social studies to bring up her grade level.
I love that.
It's like starter words.
Yeah.
And once you've done that, you can say, and blah, 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 and you can add to it.
And often that's all you need. You just need that little bit of a little spark to get you moving in the right direction. You don't need to copy word for word every single sentence.
Totally. And it's a lingo. Seems eager to
Totally.
improve, has improved steadily. You need to get back into that jargon, and this is just what it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go and flood yourself with all of those help from the internet.
And then there's real technology.
And then there is. So I once taught in a school where I did computer studies, and I had to generate, I think it was 450, maybe 500 reports. And it was my own complete report that had to have symbols, marks, numbers, and a comment for each child individually.
No.
And I turned to technology.
No wonder you hate writing report comments.
So I did a mail merge with a Word document and Excel. But there's a lovely video that I found of a guy that tells us how to use Google. So let's just have a quick look at this. We're just going to play the first 2 minutes of this video.
Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about how to quickly create report card comments using Google Sheets. This is an online spreadsheet tool that teachers can use to quickly and easily create report card comments. It's already made and all you have to do is click on the link in the description below to get started. So let's take a look at how this works. Now this is a Google Sheets application, so you need to be signed into some kind of Google account for it to work. Once you are signed in and you're looking at the spreadsheet, you might notice that this is a view-only document. You cannot edit this. So what you need to do is go to File, Make a Copy, and then rename to whatever you want to rename it. I'm just going to put my initials up at the top of this here, and then click OK. And now you're going to have your own editable copy. So let's take a look at how this works. So the first thing that you might notice is that you've got first name, last name, and then you've got a whole bunch of fields right here. So in the first name and last name, that's where you're obviously going to enter the student's name. And once you move over to these next columns, you'll notice that there are these little arrows in each field. If you click on those arrows, you'll see drop-down options. And then the rest of these are phrases or words that you can choose for each individual student, depending on the column category. And it's possible to modify these options, and we'll talk about how to do that in a few moments. But for now, let's just go with the options that are already built in. And you can see that each of these columns pertains to a specific aspect or subject. And you'll notice that most of these comments try to put a positive light on the feedback. And the last column here is optional for area of growth. But that's it for this student. If we move down to the bottom, you'll see that there are 3 different tabs for this tool. Right now you can see we're on the input sheet. Let's click on full comment where you'll see the output. And here's the paragraph generated by the tool based on what we chose before. And we have a decently written comment with constructive feedback with the student's name.
Wow, Helen, that is insane.
It really, really is. And if you'll just slip back there a second, I want to show you where you'll find that. So at the bottom over here, there is a link for that, this exact spreadsheet. And here it is up here. I downloaded it. And you can see that I have Anne Frank over here. And if I click on this, and if I click on an adjective, an adjective for Anne Frank and an adjective, this over here, I'm going to build up her report over here. And then you would do what he told you just now.
Wow, that is really, really fantastic. What I like about that again is that it gives you that structure, that whole thing written out, and you can then maybe take the sentence out or a word or something that you don't really, to make it personal.
Definitely. So also if you watch the rest of the video, he tells you how to change the data to make it your own.
Okay, that's fantastic.
So we just didn't want to spend all that time doing that with you.
Yes, yeah.
So technology is definitely a win-win and use that, particularly if you've got a lot of report comments. Maybe you do all the history and you have to do a history comment for each child. That's 100 and something.
And also just if you're not used to writing report comments, use that as a starter and then work off that.
Of course, you can always go back and edit it.
Yes, yeah.
Good.
No, I love it.
Okay, so who is this report for? Is it for the parent or is it for the learner?
Definitely for the learner. Obviously, it's a connection to the parent because they don't sit in the classroom with their child every day.
Except I just have to tell you, my dad said my report had to go home to him because it was addressed to him and not to me, and I was not allowed to open it.
Shame. No, I think that it's very important that the learner has an opportunity to see their report and discuss it with the teacher
so I agree with you entirely. I'd like the process where I handed all the children their reports. They read it, they looked at their symbols, and then one by time, in fact, by choice, come to me and let's talk about your marks.
Yeah, I think so. That's what I did used to do as a class teacher, was get them up at my table, discuss with them what were they happy with, where did they think they needed to improve, where did they need help. And then at least when they get home and their parents look, and then we'd seal it. And then when they get home to their parents, at least there is an opportunity for them to have some feedback, not just the report, but some feedback from the teacher, and to discuss them with their parents. I've already identified what I want to do.
And they can also defend themselves if the report wasn't that good. Because the teacher, Mrs. Thing said that next term we're going to do this.
And I think that's very important. It empowers the child. And what's very disempowering is when the report is a surprise for the parent and they freak out and then have a go at the child. And very often what happens is the child then throws the teacher under the bus, and actually that's not constructive for anybody.
No, we're just going downhill fast. So we normally record on a Wednesday, release on a Friday. We are releasing this SOS today because we know you're in the thick of it, because if you ask Miss Walker what she's doing tonight,
report comments.
So good luck. Hope this has helped you. See you next week.